Began with Kit walking down that uh, road, and when she sees, I think it's on the first page, when she sees that rooster out on the side of the road, and she admires that rooster for the way he acts, then I knew who I was dealing with. That told me what that kid was like. It's the first line. And the first paragraph, Kit says, I thought the cabin was still empty until I saw the red rooster out in the road. He was really flame orange. The people call those roosters red, and he had a big bright green feather curling over the top of his tail. I had on my sneakers and was walking in a smooth gully the rain had created. So I wasn't kicking gravel or making any kind of noise. And he didn't look up from his pecking until I was close on him. Then he cocked his head to the side and looked me over slit-eyed. It was March. I hadn't been down that road since fall. And by the tilt of that rooster's head, it was clear to me that he'd have been around sometime, maybe all winter. He owned that territory, or at least he owned the chicken part of it. And he wasn't going to give ground scared or even in a huff. He lifted a foot, held it up in a claw for only a second, and then he walked off like he had business in the weeds he'd been meaning to get to all morning. I admired him for that. So that tells me who Kit is right there. She's attending to all sorts of things. Okay. She's a very close observer. And she's got an attitude like that rooster's got. So I've got me a little kid here that admires a rooster who is acting like he's up to something else other than what he's really up to, and who is pretty confident of himself. And he's not going to give up easily. So that tells me what this child is like. And I wrote that this is terribly unusual. This is the first paragraph I wrote in this book. You know, a lot of times you write a book and you throw out the first 30 pages, but that's the first paragraph I wrote in that book. And actually, the book just came out easily. It just came out almost just like, it's almost like I wasn't writing it. I don't plan anything at all out. I don't do character sketches. I don't plot anything out. I don't outline anything. You know, when Bella appears, she appears with some force, I think, or at least, you know, so I get a clue that she's going to be a forceful character. But I really don't know until it happens what's going to happen. Bella is a very sensual person. So they carry, you know, sensual people carry that around with them. They really care for each other. There's a sensual undertone to it that is dangerous. The job of the novelist is to bring trouble to the character. What book's interesting that the main character doesn't have any trouble? Who wants to write about that or read about it? I mean, he might as well just, you know, go on to the grocery store and not even read fiction if that's what they're looking for. But no, you can't write a novel without bringing trouble to your characters. And the more trouble you give them, the better it is. This book was written almost literally from the first paragraph that I read out to the end of it, the way it is in the published version. It just flowed out.